morning to all students and welcome to Sri Chaitanya Academy. So today is a very big day for all the students who appeared for JEE Advanced. सबके results आ गए हैं and this podcast and interview is very important for all the students who are aspiring to become IITians. बहुत सारे questions आज हम पूछने वाले हैं, बहुत सारे नई guidance, नए tricks, नए tips और क्या करते हैं, क्या challenges आते हैं toppers को और कैसे उसको overcome करते हैं. तो इससे पहले कि मैं introduce करूँ, मैं सारे बच्चों से ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि आज का ये सेशन पूरे लास्ट तक देखना. जो भी डाउट आपके दिमाग में आते हैं, जो आप टीचर से, जो अपने क्लासरूम में अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछते हो, गाइडेंस के लिए, मोटिवेशन के लिए और अपने आगे की जर्नी को और स्मूथ बनाने के लिए, वो सारे क्वेश्चन हम आज डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. हम आज उन प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने वाले हैं जो हर बच्चा व्हेन यू आर इन क्लास 11 आप फेस करते हो एंड ऑल द स्टूडेंट फील दैट ये प्रॉब्लम हम फेस कर रहे हैं. तो जो टॉपर्स हैं शायद वो प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं कर रहे होंगे, वो सब करते हैं, बस उसके सॉल्यूशंस अलग होते हैं. तो क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, इसको आज हम डिकोड करने वाले हैं. सो विथ मी टुडे Ujjwal Kesari, who is All India Rank 5 in JEE Advanced 2025. He is AITS student of Sri Chaitanya. तो उसको उस टेस्ट सीरीज में और डाउट्स ने कैसे हेल्प किया, उसकी ओवरऑल एकेडमिक जर्नी कैसे रही, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. मेरे साथ विशाल नंदी मैथ सर हैं जो उज्जवल से आपसे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि और ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से हम उन चीज़ों को डिफाइन कर पाएँ जहाँ पे बच्चे प्रॉब्लम को फेस करते हैं. सो वेलकम विशाल सर, वेलकम उज्जवल. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद अ ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ उज्जवल. उज्जवल, ओवर टू.
Good morning, sir. So my name is Ujjwal Kesari and I reside in Delhi. And I joined Sri Chaitanya's AITS program in class 12. And Sri Chaitanya, and I secured All India Rank 33 in JEE Main and I had got 295 marks in it. And in JEE Advanced, I scored 324 marks and have got All India Rank 5 in it.
That's great, Ujjwal. So today I am going to ask you questions which generally student face problem, and I want to do a discussion which is useful for not only for the student as well as for the parents also. Right. So the first question is, generally when students start their preparation for JEE Advanced, specifically when they move from class 10 to 11, there is a sudden jump in the syllabus because up to class 10 there is no integration, differentiation in the maths, right? And suddenly when they join the class 11, the first chapter which they start with a deeper application of mathematics and all the subjects, suddenly the syllabus increases multiple fold, right? So every student face problem during that first month of their class 11. So what is your journey for the first month of your class 11 and how you overcome this, and have you faced any problem, and if yes, what type of solution you have identified for that?
So the chemistry wasn't that much of a challenge in the first month. More concept, the first chapter, since it was already done in basic in class 9, so that could be covered. But physics, especially, that was the point where like a sudden increment in mathematical application comes. In 10th, up till 10th, there is not much maths in the physics involved, but when we enter class 11, the mathematics involved in physics becomes quite difficult. So, I would suggest that, focus first. We have to focus. I had to focus a lot on the maths first. I had to redo basic maths from the scratch. Only then I could start with the next chapters, kinematics and laws of motion and all. And as far as mathematics is concerned, basics of mathematics was fine, but when we started with quadratic equations, then especially the JEE advanced level questions, initially it was very tough to solve them. So we had to I had to fight with the problems for a long time. I had to try not to see the solution and try it multiple times. Only then it started to become more of a routine.
So in general, I have seen one thing: students like the books and the module having questions and with a detailed solution, right? So what is your approach in the initial day? Do you solve all those questions with a solved example booklet or unsolved question you generally focus for that?
Sir, the solved examples, I prefer what is taught in the classroom. But when I'm practicing on my own, I prefer to first solve, I want to first solve the unsolved problems once I've learned the topic, because if seeing the solutions, if we've already learned the topic and we've already done some illustrations in classroom, then I prefer to solve the unsolved questions first, and then if I'm getting stuck on any problem, I'll try to do it 2 to 3 times. If not, it's still unsolved, then I would go for the solution.
Great. And if you have seen the AITS questions which Sri Chaitanya framed, generally those questions are prepared through our 40 years of journey, and the questions which we take in the JEE main as well as advanced is similar to the question which is asked, and we try to match the pattern, the difficulty level of the questions as asked in the previous 5 years. So how was your marks and how was your journey during your internal test which you appear in Sri Chaitanya?
So sir, in the advanced pattern test, I usually scored around 320 marks. That was my general score out of 360. What I really found great was that, first of all, what you said about the pattern. So like we could see that this paper is based on 2022 pattern, this paper 23 pattern. So that way we could practice all the various kinds of patterns which have been asked in the past a few years, because JEE advanced pattern keeps on changing every year, so we have to be ready with the various kinds of questions that are asked. The level of questions were pretty good. They actually simulated what is actually asked in the paper. The paper is very, very well curated. It is neither, it is not very easy, neither it is so tough that person can't solve. It strikes the balance with what JEE asks with some difficult questions, so that we have the ability to like leave those very tough questions and solve them towards the end.
And Ujjwal, there is a perception among all the parents also, and Vishal sir is also agreeing on that, because just before this interview we are discussing that if you are preparing for JEE Advanced, it is very important to start with the early stages, right? So students start from class 8, class 9 in their foundation courses. So just want to understand at which class you decided to give the JEE, and from which class you start your preparation.
Sir, so I decided, like I had not much idea before class 9. In class 9th, I got to know about NSEGS exams, so that I prepared for it. And from class 10th, I decided that I will be going into the PCM line, and that like towards the mid of class 10th, my JEE preparation began.
So in class 10th, you focused on your class 10th board, not prepared for JEE, right? And you read all the NCERT textbook specifically when you are in the class 10th.
Yeah.
Have you done any problem or any other booklet apart from your class 10th board?
For class 10th or for higher?
For higher classes.
So not in 10th. I did not do much books in class 10th. I only read like the physics and the chemistry NCERT, and like I got my hand on JEE main PYQ, which is chapter that I've done, because advanced I had not done at that time.
But when you were in the class 10th, you focused on your class 10th board, right?
Mostly on it.
That is a very important thing, Ujjwal, because in last to last year, in year 2023, so we have all India rank 1, 2 and multiple ranks under 10 from Sri Chaitanya. There is one student called Chidvilas Reddy who scored all India rank 1, and I hope you are going to IIT Bombay and you will meet, he is your senior also. So he was 12 years student of Sri Chaitanya, and when I conducted a podcast and I asked from which class you start your preparation, he told that I started my journey with Sri Chaitanya from class 1. So student has a perception that he start in the very early stage of class 8, 9, 10. But he also told me the same line which you spoken about. Up to class 10th, he focused only on the school. When he was in the class 11th, he start his preparation. So that is very important for the parents also to understand that the JEE preparation or any other competitive exam preparation always start when you are in the class 11. So up to class 10, there is no need to do all such kind of higher numerical. Just focused on the class 10th board and focus on NCERT textbook if you are CBSE student, or if you are state board student, focus on your board exam. This is a very simple thing. And the parents who are listening to this podcast, they can understand that. Ujjwal is also saying that he start his preparation when he was in the class 11, and that is a very important. Almost all the toppers start their preparation when they are in the class 11, right? So Vishal sir, so you told me that you have one question which you want to ask on the behalf of all the parents?
Yes. So Ujjwal has been a source of inspiration with the kind of achievements that he's had, not just in JEE Main, JEE Advanced, but even in International Chemistry Olympiad section. So Ujjwal, how did your parents inspire you and support you throughout this journey? Parents' role is very important. That is one thing that we want to find out.
So sir, my parents were really supportive in this matter, and I would like to also say this to all the parents. That parents never put pressure on me कि if by chance I have scored less in a certain exam, instead of scolding me, they would support me and say that all right, we work on your mistakes and we will do better in the next exam. So I used to talk to my parents regarding whatever test I've given, whatever marks I've got, whatever I learned. So that is what I used to do with my parents, and that is what I would suggest to all the parents.
Perfect. And how was your daily routine like throughout your JEE preparation? How many hours of study did you put in? What did you do when you wake up? Are there any other hobbies that you maintain? You may or may not have had the time during your JEE preparation, but we would love to know more about you. You're such a strong source of inspiration.
So sir, my daily routine would be like I used to study 10 to 12 hours a day. That was like the general trend that I have seen over the past 2 years. The number of hours were almost equal to the 3 subjects. Like I did not used to discriminate between like my favorite subject or my weak subject, and I used to have hobbies, but I had to give them up during the JEE preparation. Although I do want to like pick them up again in the college and all. As far as my routine is concerned, so I used to like try to get a sleep of 8 hours because I could not function without that. But I would try to always make out that whatever 10 to 12 hours I'm studying, I need to make the best out of it. Like I do not have to have distractions during that. I have to study with full focus during that time.
And what made you choose?
सर मैं इस पे एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ, because when you say I used to spend 10 to 12 hours a day with full focus, so I just want to understand how you define focus, because you know every student wants to learn, but it is really difficult to spend 10 hours a day with full dedication and focus, right? बच्चों के साथ क्या होता है, वो एक चीज पढ़ते हैं, उनको नहीं आता, वो सब्जेक्ट चेंज करते हैं, थोड़े दोस्तों के साथ चैट कर लेते हैं, थोड़े व्हाट्सएप के रील्स देख लेते हैं, या सॉरी इंस्टाग्राम के रील्स देख लेते हैं. तो वो आवर्स इफेक्टिव इंक्रीज करने का क्या कोई स्ट्रैटेजी है? अगर है तो क्या है जो आप अपने जूनियर्स को देना चाहते हो, बिकॉज ये रियली डिफिकल्ट है 10 hours एवरी डे.
So sir, one thing was that I was never, except for WhatsApp, में किसी भी सोशल मीडिया पे तो था ही नहीं, मतलब मैंने कोई अकाउंट बनाया ही नहीं था.
कभी YouTube भी नहीं देखा आपने?
नहीं सर, YouTube कोई रील भी कुछ नहीं देखता था मैं. I was only on WhatsApp and that too for मतलब communication with teachers.
मेरे को एक चीज नहीं समझ में आती. मैंने इनफैक्ट मैं बच्चों को हमेशा ये भी कहता हूँ कि बच्चे ना आजकल स्पेसिफिकली मेजॉरिटी ऑफ स्टूडेंट YouTube में ना लेक्चर्स देखते हैं. उनको लगता है कि लेक्चर देखने से हमारी कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ रही है, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जब तक आप टेक्स्ट बुक से सीखते नहीं हो, आप YouTube से कभी कुछ कर नहीं पाते हो. दिस इज द सेम क्वेश्चन. आई डिड पॉडकास्ट ऑफ hundreds of toppers and everyone says the same line which you are explaining. तो अभी आपने कहा ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है.
I had heard this line कि मतलब जब तक हम लोग पेन नहीं घिसेंगे पेपर पे तब तक हमारा सिलेक्शन नहीं हो पाएगा. So this is actually true. You have to like spend your time on the question. You have to write the question. आजकल लोग notes download करके लेते हैं, but I feel कि अभी भी writing the notes in the class, question खुद से solve करना, that is very very important if you want to like get a good rank.
एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा उज्जवल. You've built the mindset of a champion, चाहे वो national level के competitive exams हो or whether it's international level Olympiad exams. How did you build this mindset?
सर इसमें कई लोग का रोल रहा है, मेरे टीचर्स का, मेरे पेरेंट्स का. लाइक मैं कुछ मानता हूँ कि देयर आर अ फ्यू फैक्टर्स जिससे कि एक माइंडसेट डेवलप हो पाता है. So firstly, there has to be some sort of a motivation for whatever exam you are doing. Like मतलब अगर आपको JEE में रैंक करनी है, so there must be some motivation, your dream college or your dream rank. तो देयर मस्ट बी सम मोटिवेशन। आजकल लोग जैसे सर ने कहा कि रील्स देखते, तो रील्स में मोटिवेशन आजकल लोग मतलब ऐसे ही कह देते हैं, बट दैट मोटिवेशन इज नॉट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, कि जो अंदर से खुद का मोटिवेशन है कि मेरे को अपनी फैमिली कंडीशन अच्छी करनी है या फिर आई वांट टू गो टू अ गुड कॉलेज, तो एक तो मोटिवेशन होना ज़रूरी है। सेकेंडली लाइक वी हैव टू स्टे डिसिप्लिन्ड एंड कंसिस्टेंट। मतलब लाइक हमें ऐसा नहीं करना कि हमें एक दिन पढ़ाई की फिर 2 दिन नहीं की। वी हैव टू स्टे कंसिस्टेंट इन आवर जर्नी and we have to learn discipline. Like we have to stay disciplined in our work. We do not have to go here and there. We have to stick to whatever is being given to us. We have to stick to the papers, the books which we have been given, and we have to stick to that and solve them with full focus. Like we say Arjun is a focus, so we have to build that kind of a focus. So for building focus and avoiding distraction, I used to practice meditation. मतलब वो जैसे जब मैं थक जाता था शाम में, तो for once a day I used to practice meditation for that.
Right. Wonderful. Now you've consistently participated in almost every grand test of Sri Chaitanya's, right from JEE Main till JEE Advanced throughout the academic year. Your sincerity, your champion mindset undoubtedly is there, evident. Our academic analysis, our doubt clearing sessions, you've been there, you've challenged some answer keys, you've done everything what an ideal aspirant should do, and you've excelled in the exam, and the outcome shows for itself. So how did you manage this remaining stress free? I'm sure other students who are listening or who will listen to this podcast would want to know that when they face hurdles, what should they do to overcome those hurdles?
So sir, there are again like 2 to 3 things which we need to do in order to stay stress free. अगर like if we like do not perform that well in a particular exam, या फिर हमें किसी टॉपिक में हर बार उसी टॉपिक में दिक्कत हो रही है, तो आई टॉक टू माई टीचर्स एंड श्री चैतन्य के like जो मेरे academic experts थे जिनके साथ मैं बात करता था, जय सर एंड ऑल. So we talked, he shared me notes regarding, I used to face problem in inorganic chemistry. मेरे उसमें मार्क्स बहुत ज़्यादा चले जाते थे, so I got good notes. तो मेरा ये मानना है कि once you work on your mistakes, आपका ऑटोमेटिकली वो जो प्रेशर और स्ट्रेस वाला फैक्टर है वो बहुत ज़्यादा रिड्यूस नहीं हो जाता है. सो यू नीड, इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रोक्रेस्टिनेटिंग एंड पुटिंग इट फॉर टुमारो कि यार मैं कल कर लूँगा, आज मैं थक गया, try to work on your mistakes. So automatically the satisfaction you'll get, that will release a lot of stress from you.
Wonderful.
And other than that, I also used to sit with my parents की मतलब कोई और इमोशनल दिक्कत हो कि मतलब किसी के like I maybe rank मेरी second या third आ गई, तो उस केस में I used to sit with my parents and they used to motivate me. So these are 2 to 3 things which we should do in order to remain stress-free.
Wonderful. That's why you are a strong source of inspiration, Ujjwal.
Thank you.
And maybe what you've said, your meditation, your daily routine, you've had such a healthy daily routine. How would you advocate? Now, you've got a champion mindset, but a majority of the aspirants may not have a champion mindset. What would you advise them if they feel that their hurdles are too large to be overcome? I generally say that you look at a huge fort. The compound surrounding the fort is much more bigger. There is a main door to enter the fort. That main door is much smaller compared to the fort and the compound. And the main door, if it's locked, the lock is much more smaller as compared to the door. But the key to the lock, which is so small, it opens the entire lock, the door, and gives access to the fort inside. So how would you advise and inspire other aspirants to overcome their hurdles?
Sir, actually what people, like you said, that they feel that their hurdle is too big, that is because they try to accumulate all their problems into one single thing. Instead of accumulating it, students must try to solve one problem at a time. Like if they are facing problem in, let's say, 4 chapters, so instead of saying कि मेरा 4 chapter का backlog है, they should try to cover 1 chapter at a time, 1 topic at a time. जिससे कि one it is like the graph of e to the power x. Like once you start like getting through the problem, so वो इतना rapidly आप उन problems को solve कर पाते हो that you like kind of आपका सारा ही वो hurdle जो है वो आप उनसे पार कर पाओगे.
Wonderful. So Ujjwal, what next? आप कौन सा IIT कॉलेज, कौन सा स्ट्रीम, what is your aspiration?
Sir, I'm actually going a bit unconventional. Actually, I'm not choosing IIT. I will be going to, going for Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I want to do BSc research in physics.
Wonderful. And what is the source of inspiration behind this?
Sir, ये थोड़ा पहले ही डेट बैक करता है, लेकिन 7th-8th grade I first came across this college. एंड उस वक्त जेई के बारे में नहीं पता था, लेकिन इस कॉलेज के बारे में उसको पता चला, तो मेरे को लगा कि ये बहुत अच्छी जगह है. एंड मेरा इंक्लिनेशन कोडिंग एंड कंप्यूटर से हटके थोड़ा प्योर साइंसेस की तरफ ओवर द टाइम बढ़ता गया. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई डिसाइडेड दैट दिस मस्ट बी द राइट कॉलेज फॉर मी.
Okay. And what is it that excites you about physics?
सो फिजिक्स में आई रियली like visualizing stuff, be it the surrounding world, electricity, light, ऐसी चीज़ें जो जैसे हम विजुअलाइज कर सकते हैं. मैकेनिक्स में विजुअलाइजेशन, so visualization has always been my key source of inspiration in physics.
Great. Over.
मैं बस ये कहना चाहता हूँ उज्जवल कि the way you clearly define the things, तो इतनी अर्ली स्टेज में तुम्हारी थॉट प्रोसेस और उस क्लैरिटी में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है जो भी तुमने कहा है, बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जो शायद हम एज ए टीचर क्लास में हर दिन बोलते भी हैं.
Yes, sir.
कि कंसिस्टेंसी रहना है, बहुत सारा बैकलॉग है, चिंता मत करो यार, एक चैप्टर को पढ़ लो, धीरे धीरे सब हो जाएगा. और अपने नोट्स बनाओ, अपने पेन को यूज करो, अपने सोशल मीडिया से दूर रहो. ये ना टीचर ही नहीं, मेरे को लगता है विशाल सर, हर पेरेंट्स भी अपने बच्चे को कहते हैं.
Very well said.
Very well said. And very small things actually make a big difference. और इतनी कम एज में ये मैच्योरिटी आना और इन चीज़ों को समझना, ये अपने आप में बड़ा यूनिक है. तो बहुत अच्छा लगा तुमसे बात करके, और जिस तरह से तुमने सारी चीज़ें एक्सप्लेन भी की, और ये सुन के भी बड़ा सरप्राइजिंग लगा कि तुम IIT नहीं जा रहे हो बल्कि IISc जा रहे हो. दैट मीन्स यू आर क्लियर ऑन योर गोल्स, यू आर क्लियर ऑन योर थॉट प्रोसेस. तुम्हें ये पता है कि तुम्हें क्या करना है, और इतनी कम एज में ये सारा पता होना, इसका मतलब ये है कि आपकी मैच्योरिटी आपकी एज के बियॉन्ड है. और जो जो चीज़ें आपने कही है, मुझे लगता है बहुत सारे बच्चे इसको सुन रहे होंगे, बहुत सारे बच्चे इसको अडॉप्ट भी करेंगे, और ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें आपको बहुत बड़ा बना देती हैं कई बार.
So much, sir.
ग्रेट. मेरे को लगता है मैं पर्सनली आपसे मिल पाता तो ज़्यादा बेटर रहता है. तो आई एम कमिंग टू दिल्ली. मैं विशाल सर से आपका नंबर जरूर लूँगा, एंड आई विल कॉल यू इन माई ऑफिस, and we will catch up and we will do more sessions. We will do I want to ask multiple questions because आज शायद टाइम तुम्हारे पास कम है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें नहीं पूछ रहे हैं. बट यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम इन आवर ऑफिस इन नोएडा सेंटर.
Thank you so much, sir.
आते हैं, मिलते हैं. मैं मिलना चाहूँगा तुमसे, जरूर मिलूंगा.
Thank you. If time permits, I'll definitely come. मतलब ये कि अभी थोड़ा खास का schedule tight है, so if time permits, I will definitely be joining you.
100%. And there is lot many things to students to learn from you, to understand the way which you approaches, to understand the 2 year, how 2 year are important, and how these small things make a big difference.
Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Ujjwal.
All the
Congratulations.
best.
Congratulations
Thank you,
once again, and all the best
Thank
for
you.
a very bright career path.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.